Wahoo! I love it. I love it. Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. We are in Marnie, Iowa, home of Baxter Cycle, and look what we've got today. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I've wanted to ride one of these for quite some time. It is a Royal Enfield single cylinder 535 Continental GT. There it is on the tank. They made these for just a couple years. Some say these are the grandfather to the modern 650 Continental GT. The idea is that they like this one so much they decided to make one that was modern. But this is a blend of old and new. The old would be, let's start with the engine. This would be the standard 500 Royal Enfield engine that's been bored out a little bit to make it a 535. It's got a bigger throttle body. They lightened up the crankshaft, give it a little easier spinning. But yet it's the you know, the old school stuff too. It's got the two valve cylinder head. Everything else is the same. The 5-speed gearbox. It's got both electric start and a kick start, and I did kick it and it did start right up. Very nice. So that's kind of the old part. The new part is Harris Performance was a company in England, still there, that made all kinds of high-end or aftermarket parts for all kinds of people that wanted to go fast, you know. And Royal Enfield hired them to build a frame for this particular motorcycle, and it worked out so well. And that's what they say if you ride this, they say notice the handling. It worked out so well that Royal Enfield bought the company. Isn't that something? And Harris Performance has gone on to design the frame, for instance, for the modern 650 Continental GT, the Interceptor, and other bikes for Royal Enfield. Looking at the frame, you'll notice it's a dual down toe. The tubes look a little larger than usual, at least they seem that way. It's got both a center stand and a side stand. The styling of the bike I like. It's very well, just like the modern GT, kind of the same coffin shaped tank. Got the single seat on this particular model. I think you can put a dual seat on it, I'm not sure, with the tail cone on it. They've got these kind of a pseudo clip-on bars. Instead of being below, they're on top. Very nice looking thing. It's it gives you that feel of a cafe without, you know, the reach of having to reach down to the ground for one. This is kind of an interesting thing. It's got Brembo brakes on the front. This is a 300mm disc floating with a dual caliper Brembo, it says right on there. And I was very impressed with that, and we'll have to try those out when we get going. On the rear, they've got a Bybri 240mm. They've got braided cables both on the front and the back. I don't know if that's original to the bike or if that was a modern add-on. The wheels are 90-90-19, I think, on the front. And on the rear, we've got, let's see what it says here, 120/80/18. Now, what kind of tires do we have? The tires look brand new. Pirelli Sport Demon, very nice. Well, we're going to take her through some curves when we get done here. The engine produces about 29.1 horsepower and about 32.5 foot-pounds of torque. That's about 44 Newton meters. And I drove it around town. It's kind of an interesting power delivery. The old motor shakes, you know. I've driven the 500s before, and the more gas you give them, the more they shake. And we're going to find out how this one works out. I do like the look of the motor. You know, it's got these fins on the side here. It's got the wing on the logo and wing on the side of the clutch basket, clutch cover. You know, very nice cast in RE down here. That must be the oil filter, I'm guessing. Oh, it's got a sight window for oil also. I'm guessing you just, you know, a single piece valve cover. Oh no, it'd be a two-piece. If this is anything like my Himalayan, very easy to adjust the valves on something like this. I love the kickstart. I don't see any branding on the shocks, but they are adjustable for compression, at least. Actually, there's two adjustments. One down here and one up here. Well, maybe there is some rebound or something. That would be nice. I don't think there's anything on the forks. Nope, we're on our own there. Seat height on this is, well, let's go back to the suspension. We've got about 4.3 inches of travel for the front suspension. That's about 110 millimeters. And the rear, we've got about 80 millimeters of travel. That's 3.1 inches. Should be good enough for, you know, road running. Weight of this motorcycle is about 412 pounds with a full tank of fuel. So light enough to be fun to flick. I like it. That's about 187 kilograms, by the way. Fuel tank is 3.8 gallons. That's about 14.5 liters. So, like I said, there's a kind of a story out there that Harris Performance built this bike. Royal Enfield just fell in love with it. They built the, and the idea is that they bought Harris Performance, and Harris Performance then built the 650 Continental GT. Although the Interceptor actually came out before the 650 Continental GT. So I don't know, you know, what the genesis of that was, but that's one of the stories that they tell. I think it's a very good looking motorcycle. You know, it's got the large headlight. It's very bones, you know, bones of the bike kind of a stuff. The dash is very plain, of course. It's got a 5,500 RPM red line. It is fuel injected. Battery light, neutral light, engine light, blinker lights, left and right. Well, that's nice. Fuel gauge, digital fuel gauge up here. Speedometer on this side. Odometer. I don't think there's any trip meters or anything like that. But I like it. I like it a lot. What do y'all think of this kind of a thing? This one is a used model for sale here at Baxter Cycle, baxtercycle.com in Marnie, Iowa. You can probably check this out on their website if you like. But I, Fuzzy Biker, I'm going to go take that hot rod for a run. Let me get my helmet on and let's go. Wahoo! I rode this the other day. The audio didn't come out, so we're gonna ride this thing again, see what we can get out of her. Absolutely enjoyable, great fun. Had a blast on her last time. I wonder if I can kickstart it. Kickstand up, key on. It's in neutral. One kick. Two! Ha! That's crazy. 2 kicks. Let it warm up a second here. Lots of torque. 32 foot-pounds of torque. I think that's 44 Newton meters. One of the things, when I rode this the other day, one of the most amazing things about this was how nimble it is. I mean, look at this. There's Baxter Cycle, Marnie, Iowa. Just turns around like nothing to it, you know. Loads of torque, loads of torque. Sounds great too. I'm in love with this, I will tell you right now. If I were to have a vestigial motorcycle, this would be it, or one of them anyway. The handling is superb. Harris Performance, I think, was the name of the company that built the frames. Royal Enfield bought that company because they're so happy with this product, and that company, of course, has built designed more frames for Royal Enfield. But look at this, very nimble. I think it's a 53 and a half, 50, almost 54 inch. It's less than 54 inch wheelbase. But look at this, just an absolute darling to handle. I mean, look at that, just a dream. Probably one of the best things to do this with that I've ridden on. I mean, just what a hoot, what a hoot. Pulls away grand. The bike seems to be running great though. Little groundwork here. It pulls like a banshee. I love the way it feels. 5-speed gearbox. A little bit of a distance between 4th and 5th gear there. So we're going 60. Let's back it off to 60 here. Right at about 60, we are tacking, looks like about 3,400 RPM. This is a great day for a motorcycle ride. They've got that neat seating position, Continental GT on the tank there. Very comfortable for me. I'm an old man with a big belly and I'm still happy on this thing. The clip-on bars, they look like clip-ons, but they're actually on top of this thing. Just under 4,000 RPM, we're hitting 70. Puts a smile on my face. Royal Enfield is always good for that. They're just always a lot of fun. I would love to take this through Loess Hills. Look at how this is. Just whips around like nothing. This would be a grand bike for running through the Loess Hills. There are a lot of different kinds of motorcycle riders. And I'm the kind of guy that loves to ride motorcycles, the actual riding of the motorcycle, and this motorcycle lends itself to that very well. This motorcycle is a rider's bike. It's not going to be super fast. I think I've heard it'll go 80, but we're not going to do that. As we approach Iowa's busiest intersection, what shall we find today? Hey, hey, look at that, a truck with bright red wheels. My gosh. Let's let him get by. Go on, my friend, go on. Nothing coming there. But look at how this thing handles. It's just an absolute dream. Just an absolute dream. Nice, tight, easy. Not even a temptation to put the foot down because it's so good at what it's doing. The feeling is good. Like I said, it vibrates. I'm not going to say it vibrates. It shakes. But it's the right kind of shake. I think if you went on a long ride, you definitely want to wear gloves. Wahoo! I love it. I love it. What a grin. What a grin. What a grin. I love it. Look at that. We're just opening right up here. She's breathing real well. Holy moly. That is arrest me speeds. 4.5. Everything's vibrating. This thing is a ball. I have a newfound respect for it. Light, nimble, pleasing, full of character, enjoyable, not uncomfortable. It's actually pretty darn comfortable. You know, it's got these metal foot pegs, and I would say the handlebars vibrate far more than the foot pegs. Like I said, I wanted to ride one of these for quite some time. They've had a couple in shop at Baxter Cycle, but they were always hard to get to in the back, or somebody else owned them, or so here's the opportunity, and I'm very happy to be able to share this with y'all. This thing is just a grin, just a grin. The feel is, oh, this is the kind of bike you learn to drive without attack, just by how it shakes. But look at this, just whip, whip, whip right around, just no problem. We're turning its own shadow, my gosh, What a hoot. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe, and share. If you'd like a motorcycle like this, or another Royal Enfield, or a Triumph, new or used, or any British motorcycle used, contact Baxter Cycle, baxtercycle.com, baxtercycleomaha.com. They've got everything. Tell them Fuzzy Biker sent you. What a hoot this thing is. I don't want to get off of it. I never want to get off a motorcycle, do I? Funnest motorcycle is always the last one you rode. Look at this, just turns like a toy, Back where the nifty stuff is. It'll turn in its own shadow. It's just amazing. Look at that, 1955, gorgeous. All right, y'all, life is short. Get out there and ride. Enjoy. Wahoo! All right, guys, let's see if we can kickstart it. Yeah, we did it. Only took a couple hundred kicks. No, that's not true.